This is the Ottawa Senators Outlook. Here is your host, Jack Henry.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Senators. Like I'm Coach Jack. This is my recap reaction to Game 6 of the Ottawa Senators Toronto Maple Leafs first round series. In Game 6, the Toronto Maple Leafs come away with a 4-2 victory, which means that they win the series 4-2, advance to the second round, and the Ottawa Senators season is now over. So let's get to the first period scoring right away, and with a minute 10 left, Austin Matthews scores on the power play to make it 1-0 Toronto. In the second period, 43 seconds in, William Nylander scores to make it 2-0 Toronto. And then, almost halfway through the period, Brady Tkachuk scores to cut the lead in half to make it 2-1. As we head to the third period, David Perron scores to tie the game at 2. And then, 80 seconds later, Max Pacioretty scores his first goal of 2025. So props to Max Pacioretty there to make it 3-2 Leafs. And then, with 20 seconds left, William Nylander scores an empty net goal, again, to seal the deal for the Leafs. 4-2 is your final. So the goaltending matchup once again, Stolarz and Ullmark. And I'm going to be honest, I was actually pretty surprised Stolarz went in this game. Obviously, I did not record a recap for Game 5. I was sick all week, so I didn't have the energy to do so. But again, that was an impressive win, 4-0 there. But again, it doesn't really matter at this point anymore because this game here just didn't go in our favor, so therefore the season's over. So anyway, Stolarz has a bounce-back effort, stopping 21 of 23 for a .913 save percentage. Ullmark stopping 19 of 22 for an .864 save percentage. So both of these goaltenders looking like how they did earlier in the series, and I think the final score and the way these teams played reflected that as well. So I think you saw a much different intensity from the Senators in games 4 and 5. But the Maple Leafs, they just kind of went back to how they played in games like 1 and 2, and maybe even 3 to an extent. And that's the reason why the Leafs got the win there. So you can point to a lot of things. Ullmark definitely wasn't incredible in this game. There were some players that I definitely think were not ready for the moment, and just guys that I just don't think should be back in general. Two of them, I'm just going to be honest, I can point to Drake Batherson and Nick Jensen. I mean, if you want to be a competitive team next year, which I definitely think the Senators will, I think there's no excuse for them not to be back in the playoffs, because the way they looked this year and the way they can build off of it, I mean, I'm really confident in this team's ability to build off of what they did this year. This year was very successful, nonetheless, but I think Nick Jensen and Drake Batherson, you can definitely upgrade from those guys, especially Jensen. I mean, he was making me nervous in a lot of those games. He gave the puck away on that, I believe it was the Matthews goal. So it just caught up to him. That's really what happened. Batherson, I mean, I've talked about him numerous times. I don't need to go over him again. Just he wasn't good. That's really what it was. Dylan Cousins, I mean, he's had his ups and downs offensively. He's had his moments in good ways, too. He had a nice shorthanded goal in Game 5. He lost his man on that third goal, the Pacioretty goal. Yeah, that's... I really have no words, to be honest with you. The Senators, for the first time, like I said, in 8 years, make the playoffs, and they make it competitive. They were down 3-0 in the series. They go ahead and win 2 games, or 1 game away from forcing a Game 7 back in Toronto. So, if you're a Sens fan, you can't be upset with how they've played this year. They had a 19-point improvement over the regular season. They take the series to 6 games after being on the cusp of getting swept. And they looked pretty good overall in this game, too. This wasn't a blowout game. The only game that they really didn't look good in was Game 1, and ever since Game 2, I would say they've had a solid chance to win every single one of those games. Obviously, they lost Games 2 and 3 in overtime. They won Games 4 and 5, and then obviously tonight, Game 6, 1-goal game before the empty netter. So, regardless, you can look at whatever you want from this series. I know it's going to be a big conversation as to what's next for this team, but I definitely think that we can officially say the future is bright, and I know we've been saying that for a long time, but I started to question that after last year, after we had the regression year. But I think what we saw from this team is the majority of these guys can play in the playoffs. They have that experience, and I think they definitely will be back. And it just seems like the Atlantic Division is just kind of setting itself in stone. I definitely think as of right now, we are better than the Sabres. We're better than the Red Wings. We're better than the Canadiens. And I must say the Canadiens, they lost yesterday to the Capitals in 5 games. So props to the Canadiens as well. And the Boston Bruins, who are just in purgatory. Regardless, the Senators are in a very good spot now and in the future. I'm very excited to see what they do this offseason, see what moves they can make to help improve the roster and run it back in October. I'm very excited to see what we can do moving forward. And bottom line, you got to be very, very ecstatic if you're a Senators fan. And for the Toronto Maple Leafs, congratulations on winning this series. To their fan base, I know there's the fans that we don't like, the toxic ones. However, there's a lot of good Leafs fans out there, and congrats on winning this series. Very hard-fought series between both of those teams, and the Leafs they have that experience, and I said that in my Game 3 reaction. They've been in these moments. They know what they need to do. They have a Stanley Cup winning coach now, Craig Berube. They're in for a very exciting series against the Florida Panthers in the second round. And I can definitely say now, my Sens in 7 prediction doesn't look as terrible now, since even though we did lose in 6 games and that still didn't age great, they looked very competitive overall, so I'm not going to lick my wounds there. So I'm very pleased with the Senators, and if you're a Senators fan, so should you. That's all I have. This is the last recap reaction of the season from me for the 24-25 season, and today is May 1st. So the Sens make their season all the way to May, so there you go. Props to them. But that's it for me. So give me your thoughts on this game. Give me your thoughts on the series. Give me your thoughts on the season. I will have follow-up videos after the postseason pressers when they come out. So I will be on the lookout for those. Like and subscribe. But for now, this is Jack the Upstairs Zolok, and as always, go Sens go.
Thank you for watching this presentation of the Ottawa Senators Outlook. For more of this podcast, click on the videos on the left, and subscribe by clicking on the icon on the right. Thank you.